Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. I'm your host, Escalante TV. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the shutdown of the Xbox 360 store. So, for some time now, Microsoft announced that it would be closing on July 29th, 2024. So, I'm recording this past the date now. So, now, if you were to boot up an Xbox 360 console after July 29th, 2024, you're not going to see the Xbox 360 digital store anymore. So now you can only access the games that you got digitally before the shutdown or any discs that you have. So in terms of the store shutting down, there comes concern now on how this could affect preservation. So a lot of ways games get preserved is through emulation, and let's just say you wanted to play a game, an old game, the proper way, that's kind of hard to access now. The accessibility is quite difficult, I would say, for someone who is on a budget and doesn't have the flexible income. Because if you really think about it, retro gaming now it feels like a luxury now, because the retro games that you want to play are price gouged. If you were to buy this from like an online seller, you're paying upwards to like 60 or even hundreds of dollars for a game that isn't available on digital marketplaces anymore, or it's not in wide circulation anymore. So for example, let's just say you wanted to play the Simpsons game on the Xbox 360, the Simpsons movie game. That game I think runs upwards to like $70, or even like it's crazy expensive for a used game, for an old game, especially with other games like the Family Guy game, or just other games in general that just never made it as part of the backwards compatible list on the Xbox 360. So some Xbox 360 games can still be purchased and played on newer machines. So by all means, the Xbox 360 isn't completely dead, but only a good portion of the library is, I would consider, like maybe lost, or it's only up to emulation to save those games. So you can still go on an Xbox One or Xbox Series console, you can still buy your favorites if they made it on that whitelist, but the concern comes to those games that never made it part of that list. And emulation is kind of the one way you could do it. There is one emulator, the Xenia Xbox 360 Research Emulator, that's available on Windows. Just in terms of like emulation itself, like the ethics of emulation, some could argue that it's some people say it's like piracy, that you're not paying for the game through legal means. But really, when you really think about it, if the game isn't available for purchase anymore, you can't access it, and you probably have to pay some dope on the internet hundreds of dollars for it, or you have to go on DK Oldies, which also price gouges its machines and its old games and consoles. Like, is it really piracy because the publisher isn't making money off of that game anymore? The first party like Microsoft or anyone else isn't making money off of that game anymore. So really, what's really the point of paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a game that you want to play on an old machine for the price of like a newer game? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, there's emulation, and there's also the Internet Archive, which also hosts different pieces of media, even old games. That's one way some people will access that. But I'm not really too familiar with the Xenia program, or like really working with it. So that's really up to someone who really knows how to use that tech. And another thing you could probably do at your own risk is hacking an Xbox machine, Xbox 360, to JTAG the machine, is what I hear. So I did hear about this way back when I was a kid. People were JTAGing their Xboxes, hot swapping to hack in online games. Also access things that you couldn't really do on a normal machine, like emulation and other features like modding games. So yeah, I think that requires like actually tampering with the hardware, so and soldering. So if you know what you're doing, that's one way, or at your own risk, send it to someone to work with your machine. I hear that also puts strain on the parts of the machine, so the longevity of your machine, I think, comes into question. So for me, out of all of this, I feel like emulation is just the best route after this whole shutdown. I can see where emulation is justified. If you have different thoughts, let me know down in the comments. But with this whole shutdown, you're losing media, like decades worth of media. On the 360 store, there were a bunch of indie games too. A lot of games that weren't first party or third party, that were like made by other people on the store, and they ran up to like maybe $1 or $2. They were cheap little games that you could play at your own risk. They were like not really like content controlled, so you got all this Wild West content on there, like Minecraft clones, like Castle Miner Z or Apox Z, which was a DayZ clone. I played that game with my friends. But yeah, I know there's like a whole different library of apps that aren't accessible anymore. There was the whole annoying message to all friends app that I would constantly get message from my friends using that app for like GTA car meetups or Halo clans. It was a different time. All right, so before I end this video off, I just wanted to address this. So earlier today, I was browsing Twitter, and I caught this tweet reply from GameStop concerning the Xbox 360 store officially shutting down. And they say, bet y'all wish you bought physical copies now. And here's the thing, right? I don't think GameStop has the room to talk right now, because their game selection sucks. Like their physical game selection sucks in store. I don't really see like a good assortment of retro games. They're not very good at least at pushing that merchandise out or being fair with their trade-in prices. I see mom and pop retro shops actually doing a better job of preserving retro gaming than GameStop. I mean, all GameStop is right now is a Funko Pop store, so I don't think GameStop really has the room to talk. So I'd say, hey, if you have a good mom and pop shop with retro games in it, do yourself a favor and probably go to them. Probably support your local businesses than supporting a corporation that doesn't care about its employees or giving you good physical machines or physical media, because I just hear these horror stories of people buying refurbished consoles and they get gypped and they get some sort of crappy console that barely works, so the condition really varies. I don't really have a lot of trust in GameStop, and as of right now, I would rather explore other opportunities of finding retro games, playing them. So as of right now, I'd say this is the end of an era. I think practically I'm content. I have a good portion of my 360 favorites accessible on my Xbox Series X machine. I have my 360, I have my Xbox 360 still sitting in my closet collecting dust, but I didn't really think it would be practical for me to bring it out, dust it off, plug it in, and go on a spending spree for all these old games. I just didn't think it was practical. I was planning on buying Minecraft for the Xbox 360 before I bought Minecraft for the Xbox One, the Legacy Edition, because you can access the oldest update, the first update on the 360 version, the release version, the old beta, the old Minecraft 1.6 equivalent, Title Update 1. But I also found out that, yeah, you could emulate this game, or via mods, you can mod Minecraft Java to make it look like the old classic Minecraft Title Update 1. So that might be a video down the line, but yeah, I just wanted to make this video just talking about the close of a console generation and a new era of people trying to preserve these games, going into emulation, or heck, maybe if you're really that into collecting, yeah, finding used copies for a reasonable price, trading price. Support your local businesses, and that's all I gotta end off on. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to stay tuned for more of my videos, make sure to subscribe. like, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.